So it's Danny Flexen here for SecondsOut. Delighted to be joined by my good friend SugarHill Steward, and we know he loves the beach.
What's up, Danny? How you doing?
We know he loves the beach. It's usually Morecambe Bay, but we're here back in Bournemouth as we were last year. How do you like being back?
You know, I like it. You know what? This beach seems a bit warmer than Morecambe Bay, for whatever reason. But it's still a great atmosphere here. Still always love Morecambe Bay. So I'm in the bay in the north, and I'm in the bay in the south. I'm all over the place.
How much did you know about Chris Billam-Smith before this fight was arranged with your man Lawrence Okolie?
Well, I've experienced front row his fight against Chamberlain. So I was sitting there. That was Ben Whittaker's pro debut. So I sat front row, and yeah, I was very impressed with actually both the fighters, Chamberlain and with Chris Billam-Smith. It was the first time I'd seen either one of them, and yeah, I mean, he's a warrior. He's at home. I left this place last time with such a good feeling and a good experience from watching Chris Billam-Smith, you know, fight here at home with the crowd and the people and the fans, and you know, his energy and everything. Man, it was electric.
What has Lawrence told you about Chris Billam-Smith? Not just about his boxing ability, but also about their friendship when they were both under the same trainer in the same gym?
Not much. I mean, we just pretty much worked on his game plan. I mean, obviously he mentioned, I mean, you know, they were friends. They still are friends, not were, but they're still friends. And, you know, they trained together and they sparred numerous rounds. I think I might have asked him one time, I asked him one time, I said, well, how was the spars with you guys? He says, you know, he just gave me like a, and that was enough for me. So not that I wanted to know anything more, because I'm working on not changing Lawrence, but bringing out the best in Lawrence, like using his athleticism and allowing him to learn how to use it and to be able to go out there and to perform and to function a lot better, especially to getting knockouts.
And Lawrence has accrued a bit of a reputation, unfair or otherwise, for not always being in the most exciting fights. Fair, okay, apparently fair.
That's how I feel, yeah.
And you love exciting fights, you love knockouts. So what have you done to kind of change his style to make it more appealing and more effective?
I just put my hands around his throat like this and put my thumbs into his esophagus, cut off his breathing. And I do that for a while. When he comes up for air, he's ready to work.
I bet that'd make him clinch. But seriously, what sort of things have you been working on without giving away the game plan for this fight?
No, that's what I've done. I put my thumbs in his esophagus, which all I'm saying really is I've just made sure we didn't do anything else except for what I wanted him to work on. It's only been two things. So this is the right thumb, here's the left thumb. And I just focused on those two things without giving away the game plan. I'll give away one, it's just balance. So yeah, we got his balance a lot better. And the other one I won't say.
How does his power on the pads particularly compare to some of the guys you worked with in the past? A lot of heavyweights, for example.
Lawrence has sneaky power, really. When he tries to throw it too hard, it ain't really that powerful. When he just lets it go, it's like a slingshot. Like David and Goliath, that slingshot, just boom, that little slingshot where you don't think it's much, boom, the big knockout. And that's, unbelievably, that's how he's been getting most of his knockouts. It hasn't been when he's trying, it's been when he ain't been trying. So now that's what I'm trying to let him do, just don't try. Just go through the things that you need to go through to make the shots happen, and you'll get that knockout.
And we are here in beautiful Bournemouth, where Chris Billam-Smith is, of course, a hometown hero. Everything's kind of set up for him to succeed. You're here, and Lawrence is here to upset the apple cart. Have you discussed with Lawrence at all about coming out to, you know, a negative reception and that continuing throughout the fight, because they'll be right behind their man? You
know what? I never thought about a negative reception. It's the first time I even crossed my mind, but the only thing I thought coming out to was a stadium full of Chris Billam-Smith fans, so I wouldn't call it negative. I don't think of it that way. They're supporting their hometown hero, which so right deservingly. I was here last time, so I know how they feel. I was right there cheering right along with everybody when the fight was going on and when the decision was rendered. So yeah, I mean it's all a part of boxing. I don't mind going into the hometown sometimes. These kind of things actually make you better. If you can't handle these kind of things, then what are you in it for? You've done it through the experience as an amateur. You haven't always fought in your hometown. You had to go out of town in somebody else's backyard. So all of the amateur experience leads up to this moment right now.
Ultimately, would you like to see Lawrence move up to heavyweight, or would you like to see him unify the entire division first?
Ultimately, I'd like him to take care of things on Saturday night and just go from there. I'm in no rush to make future plans with Lawrence or think about those future plans. I'm just only focused on right now and what I can get on him what I can get out of him right now for himself, and to just enjoy the time and the moments that we spend together, me teaching and him learning. And I'm learning too, because I have to learn Lawrence in order to teach him. So I'm just happy with these moments. Whenever the time comes where he can't hold that cruiserweight anymore, and he's making the weight pretty fine, so I don't see any rush, or pretty much I don't see any conversation about moving up to the heavyweight division right now, because he's right here as a cruiserweight champion.
Now, from one big man to another, Tyson Fury, of course.
I thought you were talking about me. Big man to another.
Well, big in different ways. But yeah, he's in the news once again, as is always the case, of course. Apparently in talks to fight in Australia. I know you're always cagey about this sort of stuff, but do you know much about Demsey McKean, the opponent that people are talking about him fighting? Have you seen any of him?
I know as much as you just told me right now.
His name.
That's it, yeah. And you said it better than I read something about that, and that was about it. But the way you say the name is, yeah, that's about as much as I heard of it.
Well, how would you feel about Fury taking that sort of fight? He's been fighting really high-level opposition.
Let's just get to the point. Fury fighting is just great. That's it. Fight anybody, whoever it is, it doesn't matter. But I just like to focus on Lawrence as well, because that's what I'm here for right now, is Lawrence's fight. I would like all my fighters to be fighting regular and frequently. Yeah, that's what keeps everybody sharp. I believe fighters, they should fight regular and not have 1 year layoff and things like that, unless it's some kind of an injury that they're recovering from. But I'm from the old school. Fighters should fight. That's what they're built for. That's what they train hard for. That's what they've been doing their whole life. The more you fight, the sharper you stay. As long as you're not in no big wars, you stay sharp.
And have you expressed that sentiment or similar sentiments to Tyson? Because we all want to see him back out as well.
I've expressed it with everybody. Like I'm expressing it. If I'm talking to you, I'm expressing it to everybody.
To the world, yeah. And you mentioned you didn't want to talk too much about other fighters, but I do want to ask about Ben Whittaker as well. Great work in progress. How impressed have you been so far with how he's adapting to the pro game?
I'll put it like this. We've all been in training camp together. Lawrence, Ben, a few other fighters, but Ben was the one that started it off. So I'm looking for that from the rest of the team, as everybody's been working together closely with the same goals and working on some of the same things, helping each other out. So Ben was the start of it all with his third round knockout. And yeah, I'm looking for a knockout here with Lawrence's. I don't know if you saw it, but at the end of Ben Whittaker's fight, Lawrence Okolie is standing up ringside, shadow boxing. Don't know if you ever saw that, but yeah, I caught him. I saw him. He's up there shadow boxing like, ooh, I can't wait till my turn. So I enjoy watching that, because as them being teammates, you know, it's just one of those things where like you want your teammate to do good, and if he does good, then you want to do better than him, and that just keeps on taking everybody to another level.
And with that in mind, would you like to get Lawrence and Tyson working together more, as they've got similar dimensions, similar size?
I mean, if it happens, yeah, that'd be nice. I mean, if I'm working one fighter, they're all working together. So it's just, you know, whenever that time presents itself, it just has to be the right time and everything. But yeah, obviously, Lawrence Okolie was working with Ben Whittaker. Yeah. So yeah, everybody works with everybody. You can be 112 pounds, 122 pounds. You're still going to work with everybody. Tyson was sparring with his buddy Isaac. Everybody's working with everybody, but it's all teaching. It's no one's trying to beat up on anybody. Everybody's trying to educate the other one.
And let me just ask you finally before you go, I need to check first.
My man, you can interrupt me anytime.
Coolest dude ever. He's the coolest. The coolest.
You're second, Johnny. You're second.
I didn't come here with no glasses, though. I'm so mad about that.
Yeah, before I ask the question, I just want to check that you've seen the fight, because you don't always watch fights with no knockouts. Lomachenko-Haney.
Nope, I'm only hearing about it. So I hear people saying that Haney won and people saying that Lomachenko won. So from what I know and not watching it, sounded like it was a close fight. Could have went either way or something like that.
Are you going to watch it?
Everybody has, no, not intentionally like that, no. I like knockouts, so it wasn't a knockout, so it's not something I really want to watch myself personally when I could be watching golf or something like that.
Fair enough. Sugar, really appreciate it. It's always a pleasure. And yeah, enjoy Bournemouth.